is poppin' YouTube? It is Sydney Island here. That's Island with a Y, not an S. And today, we're just gonna jump right into the topic of this video, which is the powerful healing abilities of Taurus. And this applies to not just your sun sign, but also a Taurus moon, a Taurus Mercury, and a Taurus Mars. Okay, so far I've only filmed the powerful healing abilities of Aries, so go check that out. The link for that will be in the description box below. Okay, so last time when I did the Aries video, I was hyped up on coffee, but today I am chilled out on wine. I am chilled out on white Zinfandel. Okay, it's that soft stuff, you know, a little, what is this, 10.5 volume. That's the juice. That's the juice for the day. The other day, it was coffee. That's why I was so damn hyped. I was bouncing out my chair, literally. So if y'all want to watch something that's going, you know, entertain the hell out of y'all and educate y'all about that sexy ass Aries, watch that video. So, the powerful healing abilities of Taurus. Okay, so I'm thinking of titling this video The Nature Channeler. Okay, I know all about this. The relationship that Taurus has with nature, because I'm a Taurus and I have a very strong relationship with nature, especially water, right? I have a strong relationship with nature, period. You know, the trees, the grass, the flowers, also animals, and the ocean, the lakes. Like, oh my God, yeah, when I tell y'all water steals my soul, I need to go to the freaking pond or beach, or, you know, I need to do some of that real soon. I haven't been doing that a lot lately, so I feel a tad bit off. Like, yeah, nature helps me to feel in tune with my soul. So, Taurus, the reason why I call you the nature channeler is because when you get grounded out in nature, you can channel divine messages through nature because you're an earth sign. And I feel like out of all the earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, Taurus, you're like the earthiest. Like, you out of all three of them signs is the quick to take your socks and shoes off and walk barefoot in the grass. Tauruses have this way of knowing and understanding the power within nature and speaking about what nature wants to teach us, right? And I'm not just speaking about me as a Taurus, but I'm speaking about other, you know, speaking of other Tauruses, you know, that I've known. Like, I knew this one girl, this white girl who was a Taurus, and when I tell you, she was so drawn to nature and water and stuff like that, that girl would cry. She would cry. And you know what? I ain't even gonna lie, I've cried about nature too. It's really a serious thing for us, and that's why I feel like that's why a lot of people are so drawn to Tauruses. I've noticed, like, Taurus energy is very magnetic. A lot of people find Taurus energy to be very healing. You know, people find us to have a very calming presence, and the reason why we are able to have that healing, calm energy is because we are always getting in tune with nature. Okay, that's why I say we are nature channelers. Is that energy that we absorb from nature, that we are, you know, we absorb it into our spirits and into our physical bodies, and then we transfer that energy to the people around us. So I gotta mention this time when I stayed on this land. I want to get into like the whole backstory of why I was living on this land in a freaking tent, but my friends were building their own homes, right? They was trying to do pretty much alternative living, and I was staying out there with them because I was trying to get away from my abusive ass family. And I didn't really want to like live out there, but it happened like that. And when I tell y'all the energy out there, because the land was untouched, right? Like, there was nothing built on the land. It was just pure open out land that not many people are gonna like really walk on, right? And when I tell y'all, there was something so spiritually divine about the earth. Tauruses, we really know. When we touch the earth, we are earth sign, okay? Don't forget it. When we touch the earth, we know what the earth feels. like we tree whisperers, okay? And when I tell y'all, that was exactly what I had needed at the time. It was almost like my soul, it was like the land was calling my soul. It was like my soul was somehow, some supernatural divine way, my soul was connected to that land, and that's how I ended up out there. I used to, when I would meditate, and I may sound crazy to some people, but if you are psychically sensitive and you are all about it and you have these gifts yourself, you won't think that it's that crazy. But when I would meditate out there, I don't know, I kind of see like these spirits like in my mind's eye, like I don't know, but they were not bad spirits. That the land, it was good energy. And I remember this one time I was out there and we was smoking a little weed, and I hadn't smoked in a hot minute. And when I smoke weed, I get real psychic, so that's why sometimes I don't smoke because I be too psychic to the point where it's overwhelming. And I smoked a little bit, and when I tell y'all, I was touching that earth and I just started crying. Like I was crying and crying and crying, and I felt like the earth was cleansing me. Okay, I'm not even playing. It was a spiritual experience that I really wish that every human being could experience. Yeah, I was a little stoned, and I started carving out. It's funny. Everything I do when it comes to spirituality is deep, but it's also comedic at the same time. So I started carving out this naked woman in the dirt, and I was doing this in front of my friends because I felt free. I felt liberated. I just felt so cleansed, and I just started crying, and I just felt like this BS beliefs was literally like being poured out of my body and into the soil. Like the soil, the earth was cleansing me. I was not scared to get my fingernails dirty, my hands dirty. I was not scared at all. It felt just right. And I was like massaging the earth, and I started crying, and then I went on a whole rant about who gives a damn what people think. Y'all, I was on cloud nine. It was a good energy. I just felt my soul open up. I felt my chakras open up. And I say all of this to say that I was going through a lot, right? And so once that situation ended and it didn't work out and it ended in a chaotic ass way, I ended up staying with another friend because I was dealing with homelessness. And I ended up staying with another friend. His place had some really bad spiritual energy, let me tell you. But we're going to talk about that in another video. But he had this pet snake. And that snake, I stayed with him shortly after I left the homestead. And that snake was so drawn to me, and I was so drawn to that snake, and I felt this healing energy from the snake, and I could just tell that the snake felt very comfortable in my presence, right? And I held that snake, and that snake was coiling around my body, and girl, I felt it tone. A couple of years later, after that experience, this was kind of recently, I had a dream that the snake was so drawn to me because of the energy that I had pulled from the land that I was on. And I woke up like, what? Why didn't I think of that? I just thought I had a good relationship with animals. But the dream was like that snake was feeding off of that energy. Not in a bad way, of course, in a healthy way. The snake could feel that energy off of you, and you know, the snake, you know, that's why you was able to be in tune with the snake. You know? So yeah, Tauruses, we healers. we different, okay? And so that you can heal people through that energy, you know, through the energy of the earth and the water. Like I'm telling you, touching the earth and being in tune with the water and all that can cleanse you, and it can align your chakras. And I really need to get out in nature more. I need to hit up my friend. She a Pisces, and she was talking about how she need to get in tune with the nature. She was like, this is time for me to get in tune with nature. And we both was on the phone, and she brought up nature, and then we both paused and was like, man, that sounds so nice. I was like, girl, I know it. Like, so we're gonna have to do that soon, because any real healer knows that nature is the answer. Any real healer knows, right? So shamans, that's why you see a lot of shamans and monks and stuff like that always out in nature, meditating out in nature, like, because that's our soul's home at the end of the day. Like, I recommend being a more of an outdoorsy person if you really want to heal. And I'm so glad that I'm making this video because it's really highlighting what I need to do, you know, on my healing journey, because I'm taking my healing seriously. I am so glad that I started the video off talking about that. So let's move on to the soothing speaking voices and the soothing singing voices of Taurus people. This definitely applies to Taurus Sun and Taurus Mercury, because Mercury rules communication, right? Mercury rules the way in which we speak and the way in which we express ourselves, right? And the way that we also think. I am a Taurus Sun with a Taurus Mercury, right? And I'm a singer. And many people have told me that they felt that my speaking voice was soothing and calming or whatever. So I decided to use my voice to my advantage, and I made these like meditation videos, like these. It was like these affirmation meditation videos for the zodiac signs, and I probably should make more. And I'm gonna post a clip of those.
I attract honest people with good intentions into my life. I attract honest people with good intentions into my life. I find it easy to take responsibility for my actions. I find it easy to take responsibility for my actions. My intuition is my strength. My intuition is my strength. My creative and artistic abilities brings me great success. My creative and artistic abilities brings me great success. I find it easy to turn my dreams into reality. I find it easy to turn my dreams into reality. Thank you for listening to this affirmations for Pisces, Sun, and Moon.
So y'all can get an idea of what I mean when I say Tauruses with that Sun and that Mercury, we have powerful voices, and we can either use it to roar like a lion. Hello, TD Jakes, Bishop TD Jakes, who's a Gemini with the Taurus Mercury. Yeah, y'all got this information stored in my mind because I'm really about that astrology stuff. And when I tell you TD Jakes, that man has a powerful voice. It's both the words that he says and the way that he says it, and also, yeah, it's the words that he say and the way that he say it. His voice is thunderous. I mean, powerful, right? I've been listening to that man for years, and can't nobody pick me up out of a depression and a bout of self-doubt better than Bishop TD Jakes. Like, that man can pull you out of your darkness. But when I'm mad and I raise my voice, it is so loud and penetrating and terrifying. And I'm sorry for all the people I scared. But that's one of a Taurus's healing abilities. When we do it right, when we use our Taurus Mercury the right way, we can, and it's crazy because my ex, Scorpio ex, said this to me. He was like, your voice, you have, what is this woman doing walking around with an empty plastic bag looking lost? Is she on drugs? Let me mind my damn business. Karen, are you okay? Karen looked lost. Anyway, Tauruses have some very charismatic, very magnetic, very powerful throat chakras. When we get grounded, that is our healing power, is speech. I've known a handful of Tauruses who, when they speak, people shut up and listen, because Taurus have this earthly wisdom that people can feel it when they speak. It's hard not to feel a Taurus Sun or a Taurus Mercury when they really feeling passionate about what they're saying. And I'm gonna give you a good example of this. Malcolm X. Malcolm X is a Taurus, and man, that man's OMG, that man. Listening to his speeches, you can understand why he was so influential at that time, because black people obviously didn't have the rights that we have now, and he would be like, you know, you need to find your power. You need to stop looking at the white man, quote unquote, for permission to have your own power over your life. And he would say things like that, and you could see people in the audience like getting riled up. Like, Tauruses know how to really like speak life into people, right? He was a Taurus sun with an Aries moon, right? Tauruses know how to speak life into people, right? Powerful speaking voices. And Tauruses have this like lilt, this it's a certain octave, it's a certain, Malcolm X definitely had this where it's just, I need to show a clip of Malcolm X, but his voice is like, it's very sharp. Like, he speaks like he's very intelligent, he's very sharp, he's very direct, and it's like he speaks as if he's very sure of himself. He's very sure of what he's saying, right? So that's when a Taurus is at its highest heights, you know, when it comes to their healing abilities. You know, we just come off very confident, very secure, and just like, get out of our way, okay? Because we will bulldoze you over if you in our way. Like, let's talk about these beautiful, sexy, melodious singing voices of Taurus. Taurus Sun, Taurus Mercury, all right? Kehlani, Chris Brown, Stevie Wonder, James Brown, just to name a few. You know what I'm saying? Taurus, your singing voice is hot, okay? Your singing voice is powerful. Your singing voice is hard to recreate. It's hard to like sing. A Taurus has a very distinct singing voice. You know, it's hard to mimic. It's very unique and just soulful, man. Taurus is just soulful. Shoot, I know how to sing. Baby, I'm hot just like an oven. I need some loving. Cause when I get that feeling, let me not even sing the rest of it because I ain't trying to get demonetized. Let me know if y'all want some more cover songs from me. I used to post so much music on this channel, and I need to get back to doing that. Yeah, Tauruses are also really good songwriters too. Like, Taurus and music go hand in hand. You either a Taurus who can sing your ass off, a Taurus who's a really good songwriter, or a Taurus who has really good taste in music, okay? I'm definitely obviously a singer and a songwriter, and I've been singing since I was a kid. And my best friend, who is also a Taurus, is a songwriter, he's a music producer, he's a rapper. Like, he got it going on, you know. And Tauruses are naturally musically inclined, and a lot of the times music is where we do most of our healing. Another healing ability of Taurus is the way that a Taurus carries themselves, right? Taurus people a lot of the times will hold themselves up to a super duper high standard. And they, especially a Taurus in leadership, like a Taurus who is a grandparent or an elder or a boss who really is confident in themselves, will also hold the people around them up to a very high standard. And before you come into that Taurus's life, you were content with being happy at everything, you know, and you didn't really like held yourself accountable. But with so many Tauruses that I've known, a Taurus will hold you accountable, and it's to the point where it can make you almost feel ashamed if you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Like, my good Taurus friend, he's like a big brother to me. When I tell you, if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, he will call me out on it, and I really appreciate that. Like, there's nothing better than a Taurus friend that will hold you accountable, and it's healing. Like, he honestly has changed my life for the better just from all the times that he has held me accountable and was like, Sid, you effing up. Sid, you need to let go of that person. Sid, why are you dating this guy? Sid, you need to stop. Sid, why are you working that job? You know they don't appreciate you. Sid, you're not making enough money here. Let it go. Like, a Taurus will tell it like it is, whether you like it or not. And at first you feel uncomfortable, and you feel called out, but in the long run it really will benefit you. Like, it literally will transform your life. I had a friend who was a Scorpio who was about 5 years younger than me. She was also my ex-roommate, and she was like a little sister to me. Unfortunately, I had to let her go, you know, because she didn't hold herself up to the same standard as me. You know, she was content with gossiping and half-assing things, and, you know, not doing what she knew she was supposed to do. And I had to let her go, and it was really hard for me because we had like a big sister, little sister connection. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried when I let the friendship go because of how much I really cared about her. But it was like, you're toxic, and I can't keep this type of toxicity around me. And Tauruses will do that. We'll make those really hard decisions because we hold ourselves up to a high standard. And she said to me, you really do make me want to be a better version of myself, you know. And that's what Tauruses, that's what we do. That is our healing ability. We upgrade you. Baby, let me upgrade you. You know that Beyonce song? We upgrade you. We really do. That is our healing abilities. Those wounds that you find yourself wallowing in from sun up to sundown, a Taurus will cut that ish in half and be like, this is BS. Stop wallowing in that. Stop it. Heal that. Fix that. Grow up and move on. And it's harsh, but people have a funny way of improving their lives once we say that. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I'd be like, you know you're not supposed to do that, right? Like, that's making you physically sick. Why are you doing it? And then they have to pause and be like, nobody has ever pointed that out to me. People see me suffer and they don't ever say anything about it. But at Taurus, we're so loyal. We give you real, genuine love. We like, if somebody loves you, this is Taurus's philosophy. If somebody really loves you, they're not going to let you suffer. So we the ones that'll be like, you snorting cocaine? Not by my watch. Where other people may be like, oh, you know, do what you got to do if that's what makes you feel good. But Taurus is like, that ain't going to make you feel good. You better stop right now. But the thing is, we're not super bossy and overbearing about it unless we really feel like that it's negatively impacting what we're doing. But still, Taurus is like to fall back. We really don't like to try to run people's lives, but we are healers because we hold ourselves up to a certain standard. And now, obviously, not all Tauruses are healers. Like, I feel like most Tauruses have the ability to be a healer. It's just there are some Tauruses who are very immature and don't want to take on that role. When a Taurus takes accountability and takes responsibility, that Taurus is very freaking powerful, right? Tauruses are also very headstrong, and that makes us great healers because, like, you got Pisces who, a lot of Pisces are very, like, they're healers because of the amount of empathy that they have and the amount of spiritual awareness that they have. But sometimes they don't have that headstrong aspect that Taurus has. Being a healer and being firm about it, some powerful stuff. All right, and the last thing I want to touch on as far as Taurus healing abilities is healing hands, baby. In every relationship that I have been in, I've always just been really good at giving my boyfriends massages, specifically back massages. Like, it does something to a man when a Taurus wants to touch you, wants to love up on you. Like, I'm telling you, the touch of a Taurus is magical. And I'm not talking about just myself, I'm talking about other Tauruses. Tauruses are also really good at giving hugs, I've noticed. Like, OMG. Yeah, so Tauruses were really good at giving massages and things like that. Tauruses really do have healing hands. Like, Taurus is really good with touch because Taurus and the five senses go hand in hand, and touch is one of the five senses, right? Taurus is very in tune with their five senses: sound, sight, smell, all of those things. Those are the things that appeal to Taurus the most. So we're drawn to touch. We know how to touch you. We know how we want to be touched. We're very in tune with our physical bodies. So that's a huge healing trait of a Taurus, is being in tune with our bodies and being in tune with our hands, you know. This also makes us really good sculptors, really good painters, really good artists, really good writers. Like, we have gifted hands, we really do. That's one of Taurus's like strong suits that I feel like isn't talked about enough. All right, y'all, that's all I have for the healing abilities of Taurus. Please, y'all, the more thumbs up the better, okay? And share this with your friends. And bye. Love yourself. Deuces.